Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragon Lady Crafts, where crafting meets coding. I'm so excited you're here because today we're starting a brand new journey into Python programming. Even if you've never written a single line of code before, don't worry, you're in the right place. If you have not yet installed Python or Visual Studio Code, please go back to my previous videos on how to install those programs. Think of coding like crafting. You start with basic materials, learn the techniques, and soon you'll be making amazing creations. But instead of fabric or yarn, we're stitching together words and symbols to create digital projects. So, what is Python? Python is a programming language, a way to give instructions to a computer. It's known for being simple to read, almost like English. That makes it perfect for beginners. You can use Python for many things: building websites, creating games, analyzing data, automating boring tasks, and even making art and music. Python is popular because it's powerful but beginner-friendly. Think of it like a beginner sewing kit. It has everything you need to start crafting without overwhelming you. Some programming languages are like a complicated sewing machine with 50 buttons and settings. It's easy to get confused. Python is more like a simple, friendly needle and thread. You can focus on your craft, on your creativity, without getting stuck in complex instructions. Python also has a huge community. That means tons of tutorials, forums, and support if you get stuck. And it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux, so you can code no matter what computer you have. Here's what we'll cover in this series. First, we'll learn all about strings, which are the text you see on your screen. Then we'll move on to variables, which are like little containers that hold your information for your program. Next, we'll explore numbers and how to do math with Python. Then lists and dictionaries, which are ways to organize multiple pieces of information. After that, we'll learn logic and loops so your program can make decisions and repeat tasks. Then we'll create functions, which are reusable blocks of code, like crafting patterns you can use again and again. Finally, we'll put it all together in mini projects, like small games and tools you can actually use. Think of this series like crafting a quilt. Each lesson is a small piece, and by the end, you'll have a complete project made of all the pieces you have learned. Now it's time for our very first stitch, our first line of Python code. We're going to write a program that prints a message to the screen. This is called a print statement. It's like telling the computer, please say this for me. So we're going to open our code editor. I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to name it Python Lessons. So, as you can see, when you first open your Visual Studio Code program, it will look like this. So, you can either click on File, and we can create our folder that way, but I'm going to click on Explorer, and then I'm going to click on Open Folder. And as you can see, we have not created any folders in here. So I'm going to right-click it, Then I'm going to go down to New and then Folder. And then I'm going to type Python_lessons and then hit Enter. And we have just now created our folder. So now I'm going to go ahead and click Select Folder. And as you can see, our folder will automatically open. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this little Welcome tab. So now we need to create a new file and save it as firstprogram.py. So I'm going to hover over the folder name. I'm going to come over here to New File, click on that, and then we're going to type first_program.py and then press Enter. We have now just created our first Python file. And the reason why we have to put .py at the end is because Python uses that extension to clearly identify files as Python source code, allowing the interpreter, editors, and IDEs to recognize, run, and provide features like syntax highlighting. It's mainly a convention that ensures clarity and compatibility. So now that we've got our file open, we're going to go ahead and type print, then our left parenthesis, and as you can see, my system went ahead and closed it out. Just remember, if your IDE does not automatically close it out, remember to close it out. So now we're going to do our parentheses, and as you can see, mine went ahead and did the closing parentheses, and we're going to type hello, comma, world, exclamation mark. So just remember, if you didn't close it out before, remember to close it out now. Now, if you notice at the top of my screen here, you'll see that it has a solid circle. This means that we need to save our project in order to be able to run the code. So you can either press the Control button and the letter S, or we can come up and click File and then Save. And as you can see, the circle has now gone away and it is now back to the X to where we can close it out if we want to. Now let's run our program. Depending on your setup, you might click Run or use the terminal. So here I'm going to click on Terminal and then click New Terminal. But as you can see, it's a PowerShell that pops up. So I'm going to come on over here to Launch Profile and click on Command Prompt and then close out the PowerShell script. Now you want to make sure that this is the same path as the current folder that your Python file is currently in. If you try to run your Python file from outside this particular path, your file will not run and you'll get an error saying that the file does not exist. So we're going to type in Python first_program.py. And as you saw, we watched the magic happen. The computer printed Hello World on the screen. Now, to break down what we just performed, the print is the command that tells Python to show something on the screen. The parentheses is where we put information inside of it to tell it Python exactly what to show. The hello world within the quotation marks are called a string, which is just text Python can display. So when we write this print hello world, just like you see here, it means Python, please show the text hello world on the screen. Congratulations, you just wrote your first line of Python code. That's your first stitch in the digital craft. Now it's your turn. Your challenge is to change hello world into a personal greeting. Try putting your own name and favorite hobby. Run it and see if it prints on the screen and celebrate your first Python creation. If you want to pause the video to create your personal greeting, do so at this time. And when you come back, I'll show you how I will write my personal greeting. If you pause the video, welcome back. Now it is time to show you how I will write my personal greeting. So I'm going to put my mouse here at the end of our first print statement. Make sure I have the cursor blinking, and then I'm going to press the enter button. And I'm going to type print with our parentheses and quotation marks. Hi, I'm Dragon Ladycrafts, and I love crafting and coding with an exclamation mark. Now remember, you have to close out your quotation marks and your parentheses. And I want you to really take a moment and enjoy this. Think of it like putting your name tag on your first craft you created, something uniquely yours. So, as you can see at the top, we've got that little circle. So I can either hit File, Save, or I can press and hold the Control button and then press the letter S. And as you can see, that circle has now disappeared and we've saved our program. Now it's time to run it. So I'm going to come back down here to the terminal, and I can either manually type Python first program.py again, or I can press the up arrow and it will pull up the last command that I typed, and then I'll press enter. So as you can see, hello world and hi, I'm Dragon Ladycrafts and I love crafting and coding populated on the screen, because as you see, those are the two print statements that we wrote, and Python will read line by line and execute each accordingly. That's it for our first episode. You've installed your tools, understood what Python is, and written your very first program. In the next episode, we'll write our first real Python program together, printing multiple lines, using strings, and really starting to create. Remember, coding is just like crafting. Take it step by step, enjoy the process, and build something beautiful. I'll see you in episode 2, and remember, no matter what the calendar says, it's always a great day when you're building what you love, whether that's with yarn or code. Until next time, happy creating.